way from the start, I can feel it in my heart, like all the way from the start.
Hey, what's going on out there? It's Sean Devine, and today I want to do a quick overview for the Logic Pro X users on the latest update. It is version 10.2.1, and as usual, it's a free upgrade for all Logic users. So if you are a Logic user, it's a good time to be one because they have been giving us some great free upgrades. The first thing that I noticed is that we now have access to flex pitch from the track view, which is very convenient if you're doing pitch correction on vocals. It's really easy to get in here, and as you can see, we have our piano roll display and editor directly from the track menu, which is really nice. The next thing is a lot of the older plugins have been updated in terms of the interface. They now have scalable Retina display ready plugins. So I think I'm using a couple. Actually, in this track, I believe we've got one on here. Yeah, so this is the Bit Crusher. The tape delay. So they're all very minimal, simple, but again, fully scalable, which is nice. I don't have a Retina screen at this point, so I don't really know what they look like on there, but I'm sure it would be great. Bit Crusher, there used to be in the old Bit Crusher, there's these like hidden menus. You would have to hit an arrow. For instance, the mix is really, really useful on this Bit Crusher. So now they finally just have it straight up so that people can see it, which is perfect. The other thing that you will notice is that some of the older plugins still haven't been updated. So they've updated like 30 or so, but there's still a couple that, like the de-esser, are looking a little bit dated, but I'm sure they will upgrade the rest of them at some point. I personally am hoping that they're going to update some of the older instruments, like EXS24 is a great sampler, but it looks pretty terrible. So I'm hoping that they'll update that one, as well as ES2. Again, not the easiest to look at, but great instruments. So here's to hoping for that in a future upgrade. Other features, the biggest update in this for me was the improvements that they've made to the export functionality. So if you're like me and you're doing a lot of multi-tracks, you're bouncing your sessions to trackouts, this really improves the workflow of that. For instance, in the older versions of Logic, what would happen is it did your export all audio tracks based on where the start and end markers were in your session. So a lot of times this end marker, it can get kind of, maybe far out and you just didn't really notice it. And then when you go to export all your tracks, it would end up exporting, these really long files just because you forgot to move the end marker. So now they have this handy limit export to cycle range. So wherever your cycle is placed, it will just bounce the track dependent on that, which this is a feature that's included in a lot of the other DAWs like Cubase. So I'm happy that they have now included it in Logic. Another really cool feature is that let's say you have a session with the instrumental as well as vocals, or let's say you're doing stems for television or just different versions, and you need to bounce out certain tracks. You can do that. So I can just select those and then go to export, and it will give me the option just to export these 7 audio files or these 7 tracks. You can also do the regions that I've selected. So it'll create audio files out of the regions itself. So this is a real time saver. I've already done it on this beat, and it's very seamless. Just another little thing that I noticed as well is when you bounce the stuff out in Logic, it used to add this extension called .blp just to kind of signify that it had been exported using Logic. Just kind of a small thing that I wasn't really that crazy about. So from what I've noticed thus far, it does not do that anymore. So those are the new features in the latest version of Logic Pro X, which is version 10.2.1. Again, it is a free upgrade for Logic users. You can just go to the App Store and update it from there. If you have any questions, any comments, feel free to leave them below.